Hi there. Actually, great response from Eric, and I'm going to have Neil Jacobs from Six Senses coming on board. It's actually a great story with Bill. I actually went to Shintamani Wild and almost died in that same zip line. You know, I'd seen Bill in Hong Kong. I said, Bill, can I go on the zip line? And Bill said, no, you're too fat. You'll go. It's not you're going to drop like a rock. It's going to be you're going to go too fast. So I arrived at Shintamani Wild a few days later, and they said, do you want to go on the zip line? I said, I want to go on the zip line. Bill said it was okay. And I came flying down the zip line, 800 meters over a roaring river, over the water, and there were two Cambodian guys who go, stop, slow down. And I proceeded to knock them off their feet and actually landed upside down and had a big tequila. So great story. So that's how I almost died at Shintamani Wild. Neil, 3 years, PHIST. You're here finally.
I am. It's hard to follow Mr. Bensley, though. I mean, you never told me about that part.
No, that's okay. That's a hard act. Neil, what's been keeping you sane during COVID-19? Have you got day drinking, religion, exercise, politics, or Netflix? What are you doing during COVID-19?
Well, you know, as an American citizen, there's plenty of politics, right? I think aside from a ton of more exercise, that's for sure, the really good thing about COVID is the reconnection and the connection with people and family and employees who, you know, you're always too busy to spend time with. And I think, you know, what this has brought home to me, and I think is really going to stay with me forever, is that you just gotta make time. That's the beautiful part of all of this.
Yeah, exactly. I think with Six Senses, it's a great case study. It's gone from a small company, you know, kind of small, to something which is very big with IHG. I mean, my question really is, with IHG, can a big company be green? Do you have the same dogma?
Well, you know, firstly, they tend to leave us alone. So we still run Six Senses as a small company, and in some way, I think that our approach to sustainability has had them sit up a little bit and look at what they're doing. They were certainly the first. IHG was the first of the large strategic companies to proclaim that they were getting rid of, you know, plastic shampoo bottles, 200 million a year if they actually do that, and that was supposed to be by the end of next year. Hopefully that will continue. There are some benefits. They've worked out a tremendous carbon budget with the folks at Science-Based Targets that's calculated to keep the group within the Paris Agreement's warming targets, which, you know, 15% reduction by 2030. We obviously want to beat that, but there's really a great consciousness that exists within IHG that you wouldn't think such a large company would always act upon. So it's pretty positive, I have to say.
Sure. I think it's so interesting. You know, we always talk about the big ideas, but kind of in your experience with Six Senses, what are some of the really small green ideas that you've seen, you know, just small things that you can do which have really made a difference?
Well, with us, you know, and I mean, we've been kind of doing this for more than 20 years. It was certainly, I think we were one of the first to get rid of plastic water bottles, and not only plastic water bottles, but imported water. So you can't get a Perrier or a San Pellegrino right out of Six Senses, and we're not apologetic about that. We make our own water, still and carbonated. We've never had the amenity bottles. In every Six Senses now we have a standard. It's called an Earth Lab, which is really kind of a studio where we showcase all of the sustainable activities that go on at the property. And each one's a little different because we do different things everywhere. So, you know, they're not huge ideas, but each small piece drives the agenda and really seems to resonate with our guests.
Sure. I mean, we always talk about, you know, you and I are certainly more experienced, or I don't know what the word is, elders, or what they are saying, but, you know, if you could talk to if Neil now could talk to a 20-something Neil about hotel sustainability when you were starting out, you know, what would you say to that guy? What would you say to young Neil there saying, you know, what's out there in the future? What should you be doing? You know, what's important?
Well, firstly, I'd say to the young Neil, well, like, you're a really good looking guy, you know, what happened? But, I mean, to me, I mean, my regret is, you know, 30 years ago that I wasn't more involved in all of the things that we're involved in now. And The good news is that the train has left the station. It's on everybody's agenda. People like yourselves and the Hotel Association in Phuket are doing great things, and I think it's for everybody to participate. Everybody needs to participate. I mean, we don't have a particularly great record in hospitality, but that's changing, and I just wish I'd been doing it earlier, to be honest.
Yeah, exactly. I think we do a lot of hotel operator, research every year, and we also do RFPs for operators. Yeah. And the problem, once we get past Six Senses, we're looking for guys who do what you guys do. There aren't many out there. Why aren't there more chains? Why aren't there more global operators doing this type of thing? Why is it so few?
I think it's because it's hard. I'd say it costs money. It actually doesn't cost the kind of money that it used to cost. It's just having the right attitude, and it's in the past been too complicated. You take there's some people that are doing great things. I mean, particular in Africa, places like Singita with Luke Bales, who's a true conservationist, and beyond as well. And obviously Bill, what Bill is doing at Chintamani Wild and elsewhere, and all his rewilding, which I'd love to talk about his rewilding. But there are people out there, but not so many, but it's changing. I was yesterday morning with the owner of, believe it or not, a Potato Head in Bali.
Yeah. Ronald Akili.
Ronald. We're both shut down in Singapore, and COVID came just as he was about to open his hotel next to the beach club, and probably not so many people have seen it yet. But what he's doing with recycling and upcycling and use of materials, and the passion he has for sustainable practice was really touching and absolutely resonated with me. So there are people out there, and as we progress, there's going to be more that continue to follow the story. I mean, there is no alternative. You have to be there, right? It's just how quick are you going to kind of drink that Kool-Aid? But it's changing.
I think we've got time for about one more question in terms of, after COVID-19, what have you learned really? Is green the new luxury? What's going to be the learning from this whole experience aside from Jesus? Thank God that's over, whatever it is, right?
Well, I do believe it is. I mean, certainly, we're focused on it. We're also, as you know, so focused on wellness. And I think both wellness and sustainability were important pre-COVID, but they're even more relevant now than ever. And we've certainly spent the last 6 months broadening and deepening both those platforms, and we're releasing a whole bunch of new content and new programming that really reflects this period that we've all been going through. So I think it's more important than ever.
Okay. Neil Jacobs, 3 years. We're happy to get you. Thank you for what Six Senses is doing. Have a great day. Thanks so much. Eric, over to you.
Bye.
Thanks, Neil.
Bye.